This update is about making your checkout convert better. Now, while increasing conversions is partially design related, this update is about adding the functionality that WooCommerce simply lacks. Now, let's take a quick look at everything right now, and then I'll go into everything in more detail. First, we've moved the email address field to the top and added real-time email validation. This is going to make it frictionless if someone has purchased from you before to log into their account, as well if someone has not purchased before and you require them to create an account, it's going to make that as seamless and easy as possible. Let me quickly show you how this works. First, I'm going to enter an email address that has not been used to make a purchase before. So as the buyer starts entering the email, it will do this real-time validation. Let me go ahead and complete entering in this email address. And what it did is it took that email and in real time checked to see if it was ever used for a purchase before, which it had not. And so it's now displaying create an account password to enable the buyer to create this account without any friction. Likewise, I'm going to enter an email address now that has purchased before. And when I do this, it's asking to enter the password and log in before I start this checkout process. This solves a big problem that WooCommerce has. If a person is required to be logged in, fills everything out, and then tries to check out, WooCommerce doesn't let them do that. So we've fixed that problem. Next, we have new field interactions. So when your buyer clicks into any of these fields, that field will start to glow, and it has a blue for this checkout. However, you can very easily change the color of this glow effect very easily to match your brand and the experience that you want to offer to your buyers. In addition, we have updated the field animation. So you can see the placeholder right there says first name. And as I start typing it in, you can see this elegant and seamless field animation where the placeholder text just floats into the top left corner. Next, we've added Google Address Autocomplete, which is a free service that Google offers, but we just now are integrating it into your checkout form. It's very easy to use. As your buyer starts entering in an address predictions will be made and displayed below. Eventually, as the buyer enters in enough characters, their address will be available, and all they have to do is with one click, choose the address, and everything is automatically filled out. As you can see here, the address, the city, the state, as well as the zip code. And this works internationally as well. Next, we've designed and created a custom order summary box that is both modern and elegant. You can see it here in this 2-column layout on the top right. I've also added the coupon input field underneath it in a way where it doesn't stand out and draw attention to it. And this order summary box looks amazing on mobile devices. We have this collapsed view right here, and your buyer can expand it and see all the details if they so desire. Next, we have one of my favorite parts of this new checkout experience. We have completely changed the Woocommerce Loader. You know, that little circle that spins? Well, there's going to be no more spinning on your checkout with this new version of CartFlows, and we've replaced it with the very modern skeleton style loader. So where you're going to see this most is in this order summary box here on the top right, as well as the payment information box there. So typically what will trigger a reload is an address change. So let's go ahead and change the address. There you saw it. You see how the skeleton of that part of the page was there versus that ugly spinning wheel? Well, that is what this skeleton loader is. Isn't it a thing of beauty? Next, we've completely modernized the payment box and created this elegant accordion style. So if there's multiple payment options in here, they will appear as an accordion. It is beautiful and elegant and a massive improvement on what WooCommerce offers. As we come down lower, you can see these new elements inside of the order button. You've always been able to change the color and you've always been able to change the text, but we've added 2 new elements to it. You can see here off to the left of the order button, we have a padlock there, and this is optional. You don't have to display this. It's an option that you have. As well as on the right of the text right there, you can see the total amount of the checkout, and that as well is completely optional. And the one bonus that we we have as well is this gorgeous new express checkout option. You can see this right here, and it's automatically detecting that I'm using Google Chrome right now. And so it's offering me to pay with GPay, as well as if I was doing this on an iOS device, an iPhone or Safari web browser, it would show me the Apple Pay option. Now for this, it's going to require that you use our newly launched Stripe Payment Gateway plugin, which will bring in the Apple Pay as well as the Google Pay and web browser method if the buyer has one stored. All of these bits of text are completely customizable if you wanted this to say something different. As well as this, it's all completely customizable. And for those of you that use upsells, you'll be happy to know that this is completely compatible, these express checkout options, with one-click upsells. I have one more thing for you. Over the course of the next few weeks, we are going to be releasing multiple checkout templates. Let me show you 4 of them right now. So here's one of our checkout templates that you'll be able to add to your website with one click. Here is another 2-column layout checkout template as well that you'll be able to add with one click. Here is a single column layout here. It's very simple and elegant. It's really nice. And then here is the 4th one, another single column template that you can see here that's leveraging all of these new features that we just went over. And that's just the beginning of what you're going to see as it relates to new checkout templates that are going to be available to you. So now let's go into these in a little bit more detail, and I'll also show you how to get them working on your site right now. This particular checkout was designed in Elementor. Now, all of these options will be in the page builders. We have page builder modules 4, or if you're using the shortcode method, these settings will be in the back end of your site. So I'm going to quickly go into the Elementor editor, and I'll show you these options and how to enable them. There's only 2 things that you need to change. And moving forward, default checkouts will have these already set by default. So this is more for your existing checkouts. So I'm going to click on the checkout right here. And the first thing that you'll want to select is the layout. Now, when you expand the layout options, we have these 2 new options. Modern checkout, that's going to be this 2-column layout, and a modern 1-column layout. This will change it to that single column that you saw with the templates that I showed you just a moment ago. It's important to note that the 1-column and the 2-column layouts that we've always had with CartFlows will no longer be available to be selected for brand new CartFlows installations because we're switching everything over to the modern checkout option. However, if you have an existing CartFlows site up, don't worry, it will still be available there for you. This will just be for new installations. So this is the first thing that you're going to want to switch on your existing checkouts. The next is related to the labels. So in the Elementor module, I'll click on Styles, and then right down here where it says input fields, let's expand that. We want where it says style, we want to change this to modern labels. And that's going to take the labels and it's going to put them inside of the fields and get you that gorgeous new field animation. This as well is going to become the default on new CartFlows installations. So that's going to convert your existing layouts to the new modern checkout. Now, I showed you the glow effect on the fields as well as on the buy button down here, this color, and the colors are linked. So if you go here to where it says global, when you choose your global primary color, it's going to automatically use that color for the glow effect, and it's automatically going to use it as well as inside of the buttons. The only 2 buttons being the place order button as well as the coupon button that will appear underneath the order box. Next, let's take a look at how to customize that place order button. So here I am inside of the checkout and the settings for the particular checkout step. We have a settings option here. I'll go ahead and click on it. And then when I go down here to the checkout settings, the second option, here's where you can change the text for the order button. And here's where you can optionally enable the lock as well as displaying the price inside of the button. As it relates to that order summary box, we also have some options in here for that. To display the product image, to enable cart editing, this would be to remove products that are in that order summary box. Next, I'm going to show you how to enable Google Address Autocomplete. It's quite easy. So you'll want to first go to the overall settings for CartFlows. It's right here. And there's a new option that says Google Address Autocomplete. And then right here, you're going to need to enter your Google Maps API key. Don't worry, doesn't cost anything, very easy to get. And there's a link right here to an article on our website that's going to walk you through getting that API key and entering it in here. But that's only the first part of adding Google Address Autocomplete. You also have to, on the individual checkouts, enable it as an option. So let me go back into that checkout. It's right here. And then here it is, store checkout. I'll click on settings. I'll click on checkout settings. And you can see right here, enable Google Address Autocomplete. We also have this inside of our knowledge base on our website. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to get the express checkout options on your checkout pages. On your website, you'll go to plugins and then choose right here where it says add new. Next, you'll do a search for checkout plugins, Stripe for WooCommerce. Here is our plugin right here. You'll go ahead, install and activate it. Now that's going to kickstart an onboarding process that'll walk you through connecting it to Stripe. Once connected, all the options are going to be under WooCommerce, then settings, then payments, and it will be listed here, Stripe card processing. I'll go ahead and click inside of there. Here are all the options that our new payment gateway offers you. Complete customization of all of these different text strings. But what we really want to see is the express checkout options right here. And so you can choose where you want this to be available on your site, products, cart, checkout, or just the checkout. It's completely up to you. And you can customize the text before the Express Checkout logo. So I entered in pay with, so it says pay with GPay. And if I was on Safari, it would say pay with Apple Pay. In fact, that's the exact text that Apple uses on their website. You can customize the look of these buttons to match your design. There's a white, here's an outline view. So you can also choose the location as it relates to when it's displaying on a product page and on the cart page. Now for the checkout page, we have two layout options. This is the option that I'm going with. We have named it Classic, but you can choose Custom and it just looks a little different. So you can choose the option that you prefer. And there's additional options here of the location. So with CartFlows, I like it to be above the billing details. And let me show you what happens when we do above checkout form, just so you can understand the differences. So here it is. I'm going to do a quick refresh and you're going to see that it's moved above everything. So if you have it above the billing details, instead of it being above, it's going to put it in this column right here. And then all the different text strings that I said, you can customize it with your language or to say what you want it to say. Now with this update, we have added other improvements in changes as well. So now for thank you pages, if someone hasn't gone through the buying process, they can't just find themselves on your thank you page and have it display something. It just won't display for them. We've also added a few new events to the Facebook pixel. We resolved an issue when importing Elementor templates where some images would not display. This was an issue with Elementor and a change that they made, so we just accommodated it and fixed that issue. So your templates for Elementor will now import properly. And we've also added a backend preview to the checkout offer design settings. So that wraps up everything that we've just added to CartFlows. Want to let you know of a few things that are coming up. We do have CartFlows version 2 that we've been working on for the last few months. But before then, we're going to have a really big significant update, and you might want to look out for that in the next 6 weeks or so. And then probably 6 to 8 weeks after that, we're going to release CartFlows version 2. I can't wait to share with you all the things that we've been working on. Thanks for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like the things that we're doing. We'll see you in the next video.